And that's another thing we need to address moving forward, especially if the red wave is extreme as I think it's going to be, is we need to start putting pressure on the lawmakers to crack the fucking whip on these banks.
Yes.
Because it is so fucking unconstitutional, because I can almost guarantee you we're going to find emails, or emails will be released that are basically our government instructing financial institutions to do the same thing big tech is doing.
Yep.
Punishing people for wrongthink. The social credit score horseshit has no place in the United States of America.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and the fact that they're trying to get that here, they can fuck off. Because I'm paying attention to a lot of the stories taking place in China and what their government is doing to their people. Did you know that there's almost every single year, there's one or two provinces within China that go into not civil war, but basically where they revolt.
Yeah.
There's minor revolts all the time in China that are violently put down.
Yep.
That is not going to work here.
I mean, they're willing to use fully automatic weapons on their own population just to make them stay home because of the coup.
Yeah, they have starved a lot of people to death.
Yep.
And the reason they get away with it, nobody in China has any guns.
Exactly.
Except for the government. That is what they want. They want to take the guns away from you so they can herd you like sheep to the slaughter.
Yep. And didn't Trudeau recently say that he thought China was one of the freest countries on the planet?
Mm-hmm. It's not so much that him and his father both really. Oh, sorry.
His real father,
stepfather, his stepfather, and his real father.
They're both pieces of shit. I'm glad they're both rotting.
They all said that they looked up to China
Yep.
as a paragon of what we should be. And just further to your point, Pop, I mean, you do realize that during the Freedom Convoy there, that they were actually freezing people's bank accounts based on backtracing donations through GoFundMe.
Yeah, that is
some next level badass shit, man.
And
like,
then
that in supposedly a free Western country, this shit's happening. Really?
Free, yeah.
Yeah.
And then PayPal, they leaked their little $2,500 penalty scheme, and they said, "Oh no, that's not real. That was never supposed to be out there." No, they walked it back and said that was never going to happen. And then, sure enough, it's in their new TOS.
And you know what? That's another thing that they should go after. Is PayPal is FDIC insured, right? That means the federal government will step in and insure the losses of people who lose money in their accounts under PayPal.
Yep.
Why the fuck are we insuring a financial institution that is violating the constitutional rights of the citizens of the country the company is from?
Yep. And they started this. They started banning accounts because of misinformation. If you spoke ill of the jab, you were banned. That's why we got banned.
Yeah.
PayPal, Venmo, we're not on either one of them anymore. And now, I mean, after what? Let's see, 2 years of lockdownerism, children with stunted growth IQs and speech recognition, we're going to be raising a whole generation of sociopaths thanks to these Democrats. I could go on and on with the list of vile shit that happened as a result of the scamdemic. And now what's the new line? Well, we want pandemic amnesty. We need to forgive one another for what we did and said when we were in the dark about COVID. No. You were in the dark. And you made sure that the people who weren't couldn't fucking speak.
Yeah, and they're still trying to shut us up.
Yep.
Now, listen. I get it. I mean, if the COOF had a death rate of like 15%, maybe I could see getting behind all of this horseshit, but it would have to be martial law and legitimate crackdowns over the risk of this thing spreading.
The Constitution was never suspended for this horseshit.
No, it was never suspended.
And yet it was constantly shit on.
Yeah, and we've had mayors, governors, giving fucking edicts telling you what to fucking do, and then having cops enforce it, and they know they're going to be immune because of qualified immunity. So let me tell you this. if the lawmakers and the people who fucking implement the laws are immune from repercussions from violating the Constitution, do we actually have a Constitution? I vote we don't now. And that needs to fucking stop.
Yeah. I couldn't say it any better than that.
All right, hang on. I got
Just the fact, I mean, The Atlantic was one of the biggest mainstream media proponents of lockdownerism.
Yeah.
And then you take a look at this. I mean, what were some of the things that they were saying? Let's refresh our memories here. A solution to COVID jab refusal. Take the jab or lose your job. Mm-hmm. Thanks.
That sounds great.
This is Cuomo in New York. Do your job. He warns New York City businesses to uphold mask laws or lose licenses. There were no mask laws.
None.
There were mandates.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not
a mandate is not a fucking
Not a law.
So every time I went to, Chinese takeout, whatever, and I saw that sign, wear your mask. It's the law. Like, motherfucker, somebody needs to watch Magic School Bus again.
Yeah.
Or Schoolhouse Rock, whatever the fuck it was.
Don't get me wrong. When I went out in public, I'd walk into a business and I'd put the fucking mask on just to fucking get by. I didn't need fucking people throwing flying crossbody cock blocks at
Face
me.
diapers.
Just to get the fuck out of there.
I saw somebody still driving by themselves in their car today wearing a mask.
So did I.
Today.
It was like a block away from my mother's house in Berkeley. She was like 80 years old. I'm like, come on, Grandmama.
We are more than 2.5 years into this farce.
Yeah.
Okay, well 700,000 people died. No, they didn't.
No, they did.
750,000 people died with COVID. 750,000 people in this country did not die from COVID.
You know what? I hope somebody takes over WikiLeaks and somebody leaks all of this horse shit about this, the whole COVID craziness out for the general public.
I mean, would they have had to pad the numbers if it was that bad? Would they have had to bribe hospitals with money for every COVID case on a death certificate if it was that bad?
What have I been saying the entire time? You're not going to be able to hide the numbers forever.
Nope.
All right. So we track fatalities, deaths, and what in all the countries, right? And we have a 5-year moving average.
Yep.
We are above the 5-year moving average of deaths that they're just not explained. I wonder why that is.
Sudden adult death syndrome?
Yeah. And listen, when they were doing all the testing for the whole mRNA craziness, it was effective for a specific illness. And then a year later, when they got reinfected with something else, a majority of the test animals died.
Yep.
It's serious business.
And yet
some people, fucking joke.
And some people are on their, 6th booster?
Oh, we had who was that fitness guru? He got his 6 shots, and then he died.
Yeah, he's like, if I die, then you were right. But if I don't, then you have to admit you were wrong. Well, somebody's being planted, and it's not me.
Somebody's getting a harsh talking to by old Scratch.
# pure blood for life.
Yeah. Somebody's getting the fucking golden horn right up
And it was
his ass.
even crazier up in Canada. I mean, are there still people? I mean, is it worse up there now? I mean, do you just occasionally see somebody driving by themselves wearing a mask, or is this more common up there?
Well, so I live in Alberta, right? That's like Texas North. So it's better here than out east. But they even the kids going back to school at university, there was one university out east that had a vaccine mandate that you couldn't even get on the campus unless you were vaccinated. And vaccinated, the definition changed. It's not just 2. There's a booster at least now, right?
Yeah.
So, it's full up nuts. And so just when it comes to this whole forgiveness thing, no.
Never.
I'm never forgiving that bunch of people who decided that their irrational fear was all the justification they needed to abridge my civil liberties.
Yeah.
Screw you forever.
Yeah. And now the New York decision, which basically says flat out in a legally binding decision that the jab is ineffective from a healthcare standpoint.
Yeah, and that's from New York.
That's really gonna fucking sting when because there's tons of states where these lawsuits haven't gone through yet.
Yeah.
And now all these people have to be rehired with back pay.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Back
guess
pay
what?
in the back door.
And I'm telling you right now, the same thing's going to happen for all those soldiers who were kicked out of the service because of this.
They should be. Everybody needs to
Yeah.
be reinstituted, and everybody needs to be paraded in front of the White House, while Biden's sitting there confused as shit because they haven't given him his CIA super drugs yet to make sure that he's cognizant, eating his bran muffin, shitting in his diaper, and they can all walk by the Oval Office like this.
Yep.
Fuck you, Mr. President.
Yeah, and listen, don't get me started on the woke destroying our military.
You're not a real president anyway.
We can do a whole show on that one.
It's already happened up here. So even just this whole thing, right now in our military, you don't have to have the vax anymore. They just dropped that mandate like last month. However, the soldiers that refused to get it before are still being charged, and those processes are still going through.
Yeah, that's going to hold up.
Well,
it's awful.
And you know what?
It's awful.
Yeah, it is. And it's just like our military missed its recruiting goals by like 40%.
Yeah.
Ours too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they can't do that forever. They're going to have to go back to the draft after 2 or 3 years of that or more. Yeah, right around 3 years, they're going to run out of people.
Yeah. And as soon as we get this studio finished, that there's still some stuff that has to be done. We have a National Guard recruiting guy down in Ohio who wants to drive up here and spill the beans on all of it.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's do it.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh, fuck. I can't
Hear that.
Yeah. And to think that after all this time and after all the bullshit and all the lawsuits and all these people who lost their jobs, some people who lost their lives, people who had to watch grandparents die alone in the hospital because of this weapons-grade horse shit, all they want now is, we're sorry, you need to forgive us.
No. We're way beyond that.
Sorry for calling the cops because your kid was playing on the merry-go-round next to one other kid.
No. Literally, they shut down businesses at a whim.
Yep.
They fucking arrested people these people didn't violate a law.
Yeah. 5 Democrat governors murdered tens of thousands of people.
And our governor here in Michigan is one of them.
Yes.
I mean, they've ruined our economy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're running out of fuel. We've got like what?
Yep.
10 or 11 days of diesel fuel in the reserve here in the United States.
And don't forget, BLM and Antifa were allowed to burn, loot, and murder for an entire summer. And that was considered fiery but peaceful, and it wasn't a violation of COVID protocols whatsoever.
Yeah.
But if you protested lockdowns, you were
went
terrible.
to church.
Yep. You're done.
Yeah.
We're going to lock you up.
Now listen, I am not a religious person. I'm spiritual. But if you want to go to church, this country was founded on religious freedoms.
Yeah.
All right. In fact, it was such an important thing. People fucking got in boats that had no motors, sailed across the fucking ocean. It took like 5 months to come here to practice their religion. That's how important it used to be.
Yeah, but we have the sniffles now. So if you go to church, you go to jail.
Or if you go to church, you go to jail, and you're labeled right wing.
Yep.
Fuck you. Just go fuck you. Fuck. God damn it.
Yeah, give us COVID. Please forgive us. We were in the dark. No, you weren't in the dark.
No, we're not going to forgive you.
You had your asses up in the air ready for the Pelosi hammer special because your heads were in the sand. And you did it to yourself.
Yeah, and up your ass.
Yeah. There's no room for the Pelosi hammer because your head's already up there, looking around for a parking space. Fucking leftoids.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I'll tell you what the final straw will be. If we finally actually get some information out here, if it ever comes out that there actually is some harm from these vaccines somehow, that there's some scientific evidence that has to, I know, but that actually makes it out to the mainstream. Like, holy cow, stand by, because that's going to be.
Well, I think that legal decision in New York, I think, is going to be.
That's the beginning.
That's the first straw on the camel's back.
You're right.
And it's going to start to bend, and pretty soon that camel going to need a chiropractor.
But it's already coming out that they tested it and they knew it didn't stop transmission.
Yeah,
but they sold it as stopping transmission.
Yeah, they admitted it under oath. So, oops.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh, we didn't know. We totally didn't. We were in the dark. Forgive us for, calling the cops on you, crushing your business, murdering your family members. It's all fine.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Your 12-year-old had a heart attack because we said that if you didn't take the jab, we were going to take your job. Oh, you're just going to have to forgive us.
Yeah.
We were, we're anti-government. We're anti, pharmaceutical companies. We're anti-big business. We think the billionaires are evil, but we said that you should lose your job if you didn't give money to the same big companies we claim to hate.
Yeah. Well, they say forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. I say they're completely wrong. Lack of forgiveness keeps you warm at night with hate.
I'll forgive people that I know who apologize to me sincerely. That's fine. But aimless, directionless rage against a bunch of leftoids who thought that it was totally cool to just oppress everybody into oblivion over their own irrational fears. Fuck you.
That's right.
I'm totally cool with that kind of blind rage.
Listen, I've been in the fucking Arctic cold steaming as I fucking hated when I was young. And I'm telling you right now, it'll keep you warm at night.
Yeah, it's like walking outside after a hot shower in the wintertime. It's like it's steaming right off. You're like,
on a fucking bitch.
Bad Pop's ready to roll. Actually, Evil Pop is here, and his shirt is too tight.
Come on, man, stop it.
Fat Punisher. Dr. Fi says, forgiveness, absolutely not. They blackmailed millions of us into putting things in our bodies we otherwise wouldn't have for fear of losing our livelihoods. Sounds like a bunch of Miramax actresses.
Ooh,
nice one.
Businesses are paying exorbitant fines, not even mentioning the massive police overreach.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. In regards to the... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I can give you a story right from this town, right from in Edmonton here. There was a pastor here who didn't want to obey the restrictions, still had his congregation. They arrested him.
Of course.
And then they put chain link fence around the church and patrolled it to make sure no one could get in.
Oh,
and I'm
like, I thought borders didn't work.
Yeah.
And contrast that with a few months earlier when you had some indigenous protesters on the rail lines making sure the trains couldn't go anywhere. Nobody even remembers that now. And it's like they were allowed to do whatever they wanted.
I remember that.
I'm like, okay, what the hell?
They're the red color.
When you're shipping off pastors because all they want to do is hold their service and putting chain link fence around the church. Yep. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's not going to be any forgiveness.
And these are the same anti-border people. They're the first ones to put up chains and have armed security while they're saying borders don't work and you shouldn't have guns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always pay attention to their actions, not their words. Their words are horse shit. They're hogwash. Oh, man. James L. with a $50 donation. Thank you so much. He says, I believe all gun laws are unconstitutional.
They are.
Have a drink on me. They are.
Shall not be infringed. Listen, I would love to have a tank in my driveway.
Damn right.
I would literally.
Yeah.
I'd buy one if I could.
I'll have a tank.
I'll take $30,000 for a tank. Deal at any fucking size, and fuck it, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I want a Stuart tank though, because they're more zippy.
Yep.
They're smaller.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.